The biggest threat to the U.S. economy. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome to the show. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very tricky times. All right, friends, welcome to the channel. Always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. So yeah, we have a lot of things. I don't know. I've caught myself in previous videos saying, throw a dart at an economic challenge map and you're going to hit something threatening the U.S. economy. Well, today I'm going to reveal what I believe we really have to put very high on the list, if not at the top of that list. We will also be hearing from our good friends Noble Gold later on in the show on some of the things that we can do to protect ourselves. And just so you know, for anybody that's interested, I always stop the commercials being played anytime we hear from our sponsors, so I hope that helps. So the reality is this, friends, this is what's going on now. We have a lot of things threatening the economy. We have a really fragile economy as it's been put through the biggest stress test ever witnessed in U.S. history. All courtesy, it circles back to the crisis. Not for the crisis, we're not talking. Just because we have our masks off, it's not all, well, most of us, it's not all rainbows and sunshine quite yet. We have a lot of work to get through on this one. And listen, friends, I keep coming back to this. I guess it's because I work in real estate. I help plenty of you with your real estate needs, trying to identify each property by property basis to see, you know, if it warrants an offer. Should we shake the trees, kick some tires, maybe offend a few sellers? That's my job, to put your needs before my own and make sure your agent, if you end up with one or if you're working with one now, is doing that for you. So I have a lot of thoughts when it comes to buying smart and buying stupid right now. And unfortunately, a lot of people bought very stupid, which is going to segue us back into the topic of some of the top things that are going to be threatening these people that bought in the height of a super bubble. That's just the realities. Don't shoot the messenger. I am just delivering the facts, ma'am. Whew. Insanity, this stuff, right? Absolute insanity, the waters that we continue to have to navigate together. Luckily, we get to do it together. We're not alone out there. I know many of you are awake right now. Unfortunately, millions of people are asleep at the wheel. How do I know that, you ask? Well, of course, I'm going to tell you, because in 2008, I was partially asleep at the wheel myself. I came out of 2008 while suffering a little bit of blowback from buying the wrong way. Hey everybody, a quick break from the show. I would never suggest anybody do anything that I'm not doing or willing to do myself. I own gold and I believe you should as well. Let's hear why. The US dollar has lost 85% of its value since the 70s when the dollar decoupled from gold, and the government seems bent on continuing the tradition. From now until the next election, the government can print as much money as they want. The last time they did that, inflation went up 9%. Gold is the one asset that's proven to withstand inflation. Invest in gold with Noble Gold Investments. You'll also get a 24-karat quarter-ounce gold standard coin for free. Hurry and go to noblegoldinvestments.com or visit the link in the description of this video or pinned comments. A big thank you to channel partner Noble Gold. Always be careful when investing. There's going to be risk. Now, let's get back to today's video. And it wasn't even catastrophic. It was tricky, though. A lot of sleepless nights. And, you know, it didn't feel good. And while I don't necessarily regret it anymore, because what I've learned from it has become so valuable to me, I certainly don't want to go back and do the same thing over in another real estate bubble, expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And that's in fact what happened in this one. So we went through we've always had booms and busts, correct? Booms and busts in the economy. We went through the biggest boom cycle artificially induced courtesy of the crisis. We overstimulated the biggest economy in the world, but more regrettably, the biggest asset class in the world that's capable of delivering a knockout blow, not only to the U.S. economy, the global economy. It's happened before. It's happened again. And that was very alarming for me, even as a real estate guy with financial gain in this mess, because I was deemed an essential worker. I didn't really enjoy the news. Scott,
you're now an essential worker. You can go sell homes. Just follow a certain protocol and blah, blah, blah.
Okay. And then stifled inventory, putting upward pressure, dropping of rates, creating FOMO. This whole thing was a bamboozle, a runaway train, a two-headed monster. As now we're dealing with runaway inflation in a risen interest rate environment that is so stubborn. Those interest rate hikes, which were the fastest hikes ever witnessed in history, breaking all the wrong records, the fastest rate hikes witnessed in world history is not taming prices. They're still stuck at elevated levels. Not for long. I mean, there's some recorded declines in some of the usual hot spots, the Vegases, the Phoenixes. And speaking of hot, they're also going through massive heat waves. And of course, mainstream media is all getting everybody all hot and bothered over that one. Get ready. A lot of things threatening. We just mentioned many things threatening the U.S. economy. Just that alone, what I just mentioned, is threatening the biggest asset class in the world. Historical data shows us anytime we overheat the biggest asset class in the world, it's never sustained itself. So there's just that. I would say it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. But I believe the biggest elephant in the room currently that's going to be the knockout blow for the economy and it's going to usher in another recession, and it's going to attack the markets, and real estate will be included, and bailout programs will be initiated, guaranteed. Commercial real estate is in massive, massive trouble. Are you seeing it? Leave it in the comments below if you are. Commercial real estate signs, for lease signs everywhere, and I've reported on this even prior to the crisis. Brick and mortar retail was already being compromised on life support in most cities around America because of the emergence of e-commerce, primarily Amazon. And even this year when I reported there's no way this sustains itself. And then sooner or later, we got the news that Amazon did what? The first time in their company history, the biggest company in the world, layoffs. Not just any layoffs, during the holidays when it's usually hired temporary help to get us through the holidays. No, throwing people overboard. The news continues to get worse. But I believe, friends, if we're really taking an honest look at this one, what are some of the things that you see potentially? And there's the shocking part. Because of mass media today, if it bleeds, it leads. It'll put fuel on that fire. This match has already been lit. It's now going to be fuel on that fire. So it's either a slow burn or a fast burn. Either way, it's going to burn. I mean, that's just the realities of what the waters we're swimming in now. But I see this because you see, if we circle this all the way back, and I know I'm preaching to the choir on a lot of this stuff, circle this all the way back, it comes back to the crisis where service sector businesses were stifled, shut down. The main street of many cities across, they're still shut down as we speak. They refuse to open them up. They're trying to crush these cities, the service sector. Well, now the flip has occurred and many burger flipping jobs are we want back out. We want a burger. We're hiring. But then these big tech industry jobs that occupied all the commercial space, the mass majority, the millions, the billions of square footage of office buildings sucking air as companies now are going bankrupt. We have more bankruptcies than we've ever seen. The levels of companies filing for bankruptcy right now is entering crisis. The writing's on the wall. So in my opinion, it could have already happened. By the time this video is released, we could already be seeing mainstream media. Get ready. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to your hats and glasses. I believe at some point, one of the many, because it's political, social, economical. Those are the mainstream media narratives and topics that these companies will tell their anchors to report on from newsrooms, dialed up in an earpiece in their ear, not forward-thinking, critical thinking. If it bleeds, it leads. Wait for it. I'm already seeing some reports on this, but this is the perfect storm. This is what lies beneath now. The commercial real estate, CMBSs, are commercial mortgage-backed securities, are tied up in these empty buildings that are now sucking air at spectacular fashion, and they're tied, all of them, the majority, 99.9% of them. It's not like you have a 30, I own my house free and clear. You don't own a big sky-rise building free and clear. It's always leveraged. It's tied to the banks. All these commercial properties are tied to the banks. We have another financial crisis looming, another housing collapse and looming, because this will find its way into the economy. It's just going to stifle the economy, and people can't keep up with their housing payments. And it's going to absolutely crush the banking system, is going to be tied to all of this mess. You cannot bury your head in the sand. It's always the truth is somewhere in the middle. I always say, don't let our highs get too high or our lows get too low. Try to remain somewhere in the middle. It's better be prepared for something. Have it not happen, then have something happen and not be prepared. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created bubble ever produced in world history is not going to sustain itself, friends. It's now what level of a downturn will it deliver? Correction? Recession? A full-blown economic depression is mathematically alive. And I believe that people are minimizing, and as soon as mainstream media gets a hold of this one, it's going to be big. Commercial real estate, due to lockdowns and the crisis and stay-at-home orders and the overstimulation of the economy, is now the elephant in the room. I'm going to continue to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. To be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video on your screen, and there's an easy subscribe icon. For your convenience, as always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.